Hello friends, welcome to the .NET Office. So today we are going to start our new tutorial series based on the solid design principle in C#. In this tutorial we will see the introduction of this solid principle and we will see the acronym of this solid principle. So basically when a developer start the application and he don't worry about the solid principle and the design pattern. So what happened, like day by day the code increase for the application and it become more tedious, and the maintainability, it's a bad problem when we don't follow such type of solid principle or the design pattern. And as the application increase, the application might develop the bug also. So the application design must be altered for every changes request or new feature request, and after some time we might need to put a lot of effort even for simple tasks, and it might require full working knowledge of the entire system. So that give us the problem. So majorly, like what problems we face when we don't use the solid principle or the design pattern in our application. So writing more function on classes by assigning more responsibility or to them, so that also give us the big problem for the application. Like if we make any changes, we have to see the full classes and we have to make the changes to that particular class, and that can give the problem or can create the bug, and lot of functionality in a class which is not related to that particular class. So that is also a big problem when we do this, and forcing that class to depend on each other means making class as a tight couple is always give the problem, because in later if we want to make any dependent class, then it gives the problem. And writing the duplicate code in an application, that also a big problem, like writing a code again and again. So that make our application very tedious and it gives the more problem while doing the testing. So these are the problem basically we face. And the next is what all are the solution we can make to make a successful application, and the application which can give a less bug. So like we should always use the three-tier architecture, like some architecture we should follow that can make our application more good maintainability for our application. And like for these making this as a architecture level, we can use the solid principle. So the solid principle we are talking about in this tutorial, like what all are these, and we should use the design pattern. So if we use the design pattern, that give us like more maintainability over the application, and this application is very reusability of the code. So these things we should follow to make our application successful. So now let's talk about the solid design principle, like what all are these and when it was introduced and what all are the benefit and what is the acronym for the solid. So basically solid principle are the design principle that enable us to manage most of the software design problem. Like what it says, generally when we create an application, what we do in one class, we create a lot of function, either it's related to that class or not. But what solid principle says, like a particular class should be responsible only for a specific purpose only, not or the other purpose. So that's why solid principle enable us to manage most of the software design problem, and these principles provide us a way to move from tightly coupled code to the loosely coupled code. And this principle is basically provided by Robert C. Martin in 1990, and the solid principle acronym was introduced by Michael Feather. So this is the solid principle. Now we will see the acronym for this solid design principle. So basically S is stand for single responsibility principle, means a class should be responsible for a specific purpose, and O for open close principle, L for Liskov substitution principle, and I for interface segregation principle, and D for dependency inversion principle. We will talk all about these solid acronym principle in a coming tutorial with an example, and then briefly but in this tutorial we will see like basic knowledge on these acronym. So basically this single responsibility principle, what it says, like as per SRP, a class should have one reason to change. And what is the meaning of this? Like every class must be responsible for a single purpose only. So what is the meaning? Like I have a one arithmetic class. What it class do? It contain information of doing the addition, multiplication, division kind of operation. But if we want to log the error, then there should always a good practice. Like for that logging the things, we should have another class or another interface. So like for arithmetic class or interface will have a single responsibility, and that logging and handling the exception will have another class or interface. So every class should have the single responsibility to do. And if we need to design the software in such a way that everything in a class or module should be related to the single responsibility, so that single responsibility principle says. And the next is open close principle. So as per this, classes must be open for extension but closed for the modification. What is the meaning of is that design of a class and the code for the class should be done in that way, like new functionality should be added with minimum changes into the existing code. Suppose I have a one class, there is already I have written the function, but I have a new functionality now which I have to implement it in that particular class, because that function is related to that class only. So our practice should be in that way, like we should not touch the existing function. We should create our new own function, and if we want any changes in the existing function, then the changes should be very minimum. And why we should do that? Basically, like existing function is already gone through the testing phase. If we make any changes to that, and there are a lot of changes to the existing function, then it may give the problem, and it can create the bug as well. And the next is Liskov substitution principle. So basically this principle is introduced by the Barbara Liskov, and as per this, like object in an application should be replaceable with the instance of their subtype and without changing the correctness of the application. And what we can say, like class A is a subtype of a class B, then object of the class B may be replaced by object of the class A. So at point of this time it is like confusing, like what is the Liskov substitution, but in the coming tutorial we will understand with an example. So basically, like I will tell like what it want to say is, like I have a one class, like I will take an example of the employee class that contain the part-time employee and the full-time employee. But I have a one field called calculate bonus. So bonus is applicable only for full-time employee, not for the like part-time employee. So what happened, like if we will calculate bonus for part-time employee, then it will give a problem because that for the part-time employee bonus is not calculated. So what we should do basically, that for calculating the bonus we should have another interface. We should not keep that calculating bonus in a same interface. So in that way we can handle this Liskov substitution principle. Next is the interface segregation principle, and as per this, like no class should be forced to implement any method of an interface they don't use. And what is the meaning of this? Like I have an interface, and that particular interface has some function, but in the derived class, if I am inheriting that interface, then what it says, like what interface says, like in the derived class all methods should be implemented, but the derived class is not responsible for some function which we have declared in the interface, then it will give the problem. So what we should do, we should split this interface into the smaller interface. So that only interface segregation says, like we should, instead of making a large interface, we should create a small interface. And the next is the dependency inversion principle. So as per this, like high level module should not depend on low level module. Both should depend on the abstractions, and abstraction should not depend on the detail, and the detail basically details should depend on the abstraction. So that is the dependency inversion, and we will see all these acronym in the coming tutorial with an example. And the advantage of the solid principle is like when we use the solid principle in our application, it gave us the better maintainability, it gave us flexibility and the extensibility, and testability is the best thing if we use the solid principle. So like any new developer comes to the organization, if we use the solid principle, so for that developer it will be easy to understand the application, like how it is flowing and how we are managing the application. And the solid principle give us the benefit of reduce error and implement the reusability, and it reduce the tight coupling into the application. So these are the best benefit and of the using the solid principle in the C#. So when we are going to implement an application, there should be always a good practice, like we should use that solid design principle or any design pattern in our application. So this is all about the design principle in application. If you have any question or doubt, please comment. Thank you.